Nya hello. This is the current anti-Tearlaments build I am using. As always, a link to the deck list is provided in the description. All replays here are Exosisters against Tear. Some of them are provided by my followers. Special thanks to Keed and Marasaki. This is also a bit of rant video, so bear with me. As some of you know, I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Since Master Duel, so all new cards that came out are new to me. Today I started reading about Tear effects. Even before entering a game with them, I questioned the mindset behind the designers of these cards. How did they think it was okay for the game's balance? I made a video about power creeping in the past. In order for them to sell new packs, they make each newer ones that come out more powerful, since almost all players enjoy winning than losing. This incentivizes players to buy. In that video, I used the card polymerization as an example. Fusion used to be using hand or field as materials. Then branded fusion came along. You can now fusion from the deck in addition to that. Now with Tear you don't even need to use a spell card to fusion, since there are so many cards that have effective dumping card into graveyard, which triggers their fusion effect. That makes it much more consistent than the previous examples. Note that at this point, my experience with them was few games played against Tear, so I probably missed some stuff worth talking about. With that limited experience, it is easy to tell the way to counter them is by using Banish effect. And the best counter archetype that use it now is Exosisters, because all their main deck monsters react to card movements in graveyard. Dimension Shifter is also kind of standard to Exosisters. This hurts Tears because they now cannot send their main deck monsters to graveyard anymore. On top of that, added Dimensional Fissure, which all monsters sent to graveyard is banished instead. I prefer this over Macrocosmos, which sent all cards instead of monsters, since our main concern is their monster effect. Plus we can activate the effect right away instead of needing to wait a turn. This works the same way as Shifter, which also kills off their on-hand effect, which can also trigger dumping then fusion. DD Crow is also a good counter card. We can stop Tear fusion by banishing their fusion material in graveyard. This also triggers Exosister Martha Xyz's effect, because, unlike other sisters, she can use their common effect from our own card effect. According to Keed, Exosister has very linear lines, and what makes a good player is knowing what to interrupt. Some are pretty obvious, like movement in graveyard. Tear has high skill floor and an even higher skill ceiling. There's a reason Tear format was dominated by top-level players due to skill gap. In that regard, we can farm a lot of new Tear players who would fusion without a second thought. I have lot of games like this example, where they activate fusion right in front of my low-level Exosisters. This allows us to go into easy Xyz, because I hate Tier 0 format where everyone plays the same exact decks. Therefore I build anti-meta decks that counters them specifically. I hope by this point you have established how broken Tier 0 format is, and Konami knows this, because they have dominated both TCG and OCG, yet they still came out with light pre-ban list. On top of that, they made the most needed Tears cards in UR rarity, and the ones that are possible will get hit by future ban list as non-UR, because they much rather make players roll loot boxes for the chance to get the UR they want, than issuing a refund for ban list UR which they can directly craft the one they want. And there is more. In order for them to sell as many packs as possible, they actively avoid hitting cards that still have a time-limited pack available, unless it absolutely breaks the game balance. Take Sprite as example. Even with the number of plays we have seen, they are still not touched, simply because the pack is still on sale. You may say it is irrelevant now since Tears is out and it is the new Tier 0. Just remember, Konami is the one in control of release timing, since they are not going to release a Tearlaments secret pack anytime soon, due to the high rarity of cards, which makes Tears almost impossible to build after the time-limited packs expired. This forces players who still want to have an edge on this game to buy their packs. To be honest, I am a whale player that benefits from this tactic competitively. Over the lifetime of Master Duels so far, I have spent over $2,000 on this game, so that I have the cards necessary to test and bring you guys the best decks. But I hate this stupid business greed to collect as much money as possible. Every game against same deck is very boring, and Konami's sales tactic makes me angry, which make me thought about uninstalling the game. And I am sure I am not the only one feeling this way. Thank you for watching.